Hey, what up, guys? It's Julia Vamps speaking, and who we got on the show today?
Mia Taylor. It's
Mia
me.
Taylor. Oh my goodness. So before we even get started, I think you're the first actual, I don't know if you want to be considered to be this, but like a fusion artist. My like first actual fusion artist that I've had on the show. So you like R&B and what's the other one? Like
SOCA.
SOCA, okay.
Music, yeah.
I don't want to say Caribbean music because I wasn't sure what the proper term for Caribbean music is. Right. But I definitely know soca. Y'all be getting kind of wild.
Literally, hello. Yes, I would definitely say soca. Soca, Caribbean music, because I do a little bit of Afro beats.
Okay.
A little bit of reggae comes into the vibes. But yeah, Caribbean is very broad, but mainly my focus will be like soca.
Okay, awesome. You know what's funny? Like one of my good friends, like I think she's, oh gosh, she's gonna kill me. I think she is Trini. And she's like super obsessed with soca music. Like as soon as it comes on, all you see is the ass twerking, like upside down on the wall. I'm like, girl, calm down. She's one of those, like she reps it until like she'll stop breathing type stuff.
I need to meet her because I'm literally the same way.
You know, it's funny. She's very shy until soca comes on. Very shy. Very shy until soca comes on. And that's is out the window.
It's like, who is that?
Exactly. So interestingly enough, your first single, Fire, which you dropped in 2017. So you were a bit young when you dropped that single. That's soca.
Yes, that's soca.
Yeah. I was listening to it. I was like, oh shit. Okay. I see you. And then from there, like you took a little bit of a break, but you were in school, correct?
Yeah, I went to school. I went to Berklee College of Music. I took a break, but it was a good break because I learned so much about myself, about my voice. I met so many good people, talented people, my best friends, producers, my whole majority of my team. Well, somebody on my team, I met her in college, and yeah, so like I made lifelong relationships with these talented people that I can see myself working with forever in the future.
That's awesome. And I do like that. The one thing that I did obviously notice, I did peep the development as you were dropping singles, you know, like little sprinkles here and there, the development in your voice and obviously the development, the development in your sound. So it's like, it's interesting. So did you draw those, I guess, learning lessons and how to, I guess, work with your voice and make it a different sound that works with certain sounds for you in school or outside of school?
I would say a little bit of both. I would say in school, it was a bit overwhelming because I was surrounded by so many people who came from a musical background. Like they actually studied theory and they studied music. They had years of training. So these are people from all over the world who've been singing for like 10, 18 plus years. And I took it seriously like when I was 14 years old, but I've been dancing professionally majority of my like life. Like I went to high school for dance and everybody was like, basically like preparing for dance auditions. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. And my teacher's like, did you pick a song to dance? So I was like, okay, I did it. But the whole time I'm like, I need to search all these schools. Like, how can I get in for singing? How can I get in for singing? So when I got in, it was a bit intimidating. I was really like a little lost. I didn't know like my place. Like I felt like my voice wasn't strong enough or even like it wasn't like black enough. Like it's crazy to say that, but it's like a lot of people come from such like church, gospel backgrounds and their voices are like amazing. And I'm like, wow, like it was kind of like a little identity crisis until I finally said, you know what? I met my best friend. She's a producer, female producer. Shout out to her. She's done everything from like Mango to all the stuff that I release, aside from like Fire. But I met her and another good friend of mine. And I was like, I just want to be an artist. And I sat down there and I was like, let's make 50 songs. Wow. And then we were in school and that was like our goal. We didn't get to the 50 songs, but every single week we met up, we created, we wrote. And I told them, I was like, I want to incorporate my Caribbean sound. And when everybody started knowing me for Fire at school, it felt a little bit like, okay, I have a place now. Like, I don't feel so like out of place from everyone. Like, they're like, oh my God, that's so dope. Some people never even heard of soca music. So it was such an amazing experience. So from then on, I was just like, I want to take this and I want to take two things I love and mesh them together. So I would always tell like my best friend, I would be like, don't make something that you think sounds like soca. Just make something like what you feel, how you feel. Like, you know, don't think, okay, I'm about to make an Afro beat. I'm about to make a mainstream like soca song. I'm just like, just be creative. And that's how like we'll find our authentic sound. So right now I'm still in the process of trying to find that. And it's been like since I was 18.
Wow.
So I'm still trying to find my sound, but I feel like it's coming alive more. And I'm kind of getting a better sense of who I am and what I want to be and like who I want people to hear me as.
I think you're definitely getting there because with Mango, I feel like that's going to be your defining sound. I don't think it's going to be exactly who you are. And I don't want to put like words out there, but I feel like you have so many different abilities and versatilities. I feel like Mango is definitely going to take you to where you're supposed to be going for sure.
Yes, thank you. I hope so.
No, don't hope so. You got it. You definitely got it.
It has no choice. We have no choice.
So speaking of Mango, and we'll backtrack a little bit to get more of your origin stories. Mango is about a situationship that you were involved in. And I know so many girls that are involved in situationships. So when I was looking at your Instagram and I was doing my research on you, I'm like, wow, she's so pretty. And then you find out that you're in Berkeley. So you're one of the girls that I would say, how do you end up in a situation like that? You're smart, you're beautiful, you can get any guy you want, and you're talented. So how did you end up in this situationship? And then how did you end up writing Mango afterwards?
Oh my God. The tea.
Yeah, we got the tea, girl.
The tea.
Your creative process to get to Mango.
It was definitely a little quarantine bay. I would say like, it was like an old thing, maybe from school. And, but he turned out to not be the person I thought he was. And I think I was so drawn to him emotionally that during quarantine, it's like, no offense to him if he ever sees this, but like, you know, you're bored. So it's like, you kind of think, oh, I need to be talking to this person. Like, this is somebody that I let go before and then somehow just came back into my life. And it's like quarantine. It's like, you ain't got nothing to do. We in the house. And now it's just like, oh my God, these feelings are coming back. And I'm just like, but then it kind of turned messy. Not messy. I would say he kind of just like ghosted me and kind of came back. Yes, it's crazy. So kind of like, so basically like I was so attached to him emotionally for real. And then he kind of like ghosted me. We fell off and it was kind of like, you know, guys love to be like, I need to work on myself. I need to find myself. And the whole time you finding somebody else. So I'm just like,
oh, wow.
So I'm just like, yeah. Tea. So I'm like, wow, like my mind is like blown because I like this guy that I let go before he came back into my life. I gave you another chance for you to play me. So I was like sitting in that and I was so upset that I was sitting in that. And I'm not saying that he was beneath me. I would never say something like that.
No, he's beneath you. No, he's beneath you. You say it with your chest, girl. These men need to know.
But I was like, I gave this person a lot of my time and my energy and kudos to him for some of the good things he's done. But like the ending, it kind of got me. And I was just so mad at the fact that I was in my feelings about that. Like my best friend was like, girl, no, come on, not him. You cannot be in your sad girl bad because of him. So then after that, I was like, I need to get this boy out of my brain for real. So I like had to mute him. Twitter, Instagram, all of that, because I don't want to block him because I don't want to seem bothered. But then I was just like, all these emotions are flowing. So I was just like, I need to let him go. I need to let him go. I need to let him go. I have this saying, like, anytime a guy buys me something or like if he buys me flowers, I'm be like, it's time to throw the flowers in the trash. So I was like, I need to throw my flowers in the trash. I need to let him go. So then boom, my friend was like, she's such a big advocate of like, girl, let's make a song then. Let's make a song. That's her. So then we sat down there and we wrote Mango. And I was like, and I felt so like relieved because I'm just like, this makes me feel like a bad bitch. This makes me feel like I'm over him. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I needed to get that out because it was very therapeutic because I was like inside. I'm just like, oh, I can't believe I let a lame, do that to me. I'm like, girl, what? You should have seen me. I was sad. Like, why? Now I'm looking back at it. I'm just like, got a great song. And he'd be like,
exactly. So that's the empowerment. But it's crazy because I have these conversations with my friends as well. Like one of my friends, I don't want to put too much of her business out there because she will murder me. And similar situation, except the guy had a girlfriend and she was pregnant. And same words that your friend is telling you is the same thing that I told her. I'm like, man, first of all, he's not that attractive. I don't care how great his D is. I don't care what he made you do. He's not that attractive. You are better looking. And not saying that looks is something, but it should be a privilege, not just better looking, but you're also very smart and you're going places. I'm like, so why end up in these situations? So I like that you made a song that's empowering for females because things like this, I'm noticing is happening so often, and it's crazy. And it's always the dudes that you're not supposed to give no time of day to that got the whole audacity.
The audacity. You would never look their way ever. And then boom, they had the nerve.
That's what I'm saying. You got a whole lot of nerve to be doing that. You need to go back to the slim picking, sir. No, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you always know. Okay, it's not about looks, please.
No, it's not. It's definitely not.
You always know when you're a guy's first bad bitch too.
Right.
You always know that.
And that's what I said to my friend too. I was like, he got a whole lot of audacity because the nerve.
The nerve. You're really like my best friend because the nerve. Like what?
Yes, absolutely. And then women like you guys are very smart. So that's why I'm like, I think it's time for the women out there to take their power back and just move forward and let these men know it's a privilege to be with women like you guys. And not just I'm talking about like as a whole. It's a full-on privilege. You don't get to be disrespectful at your level. So
it's like
pick one.
I'm like,
absolutely.
What? Like what? I was confused. You should have seen me. I was like, oh my God, you can't. I feel sick.
I don't blame you. But for your music and your writing skills, obviously the influence is your personal experience, but who has influenced you music-wise to get into music? Because I know your granddad plays, what do you call it, the steel drum?
Yeah, like steel pen, yeah. Mm-hmm. Drum, yeah.
Steel pen, I'm sorry.
It's like the same term. But yeah, he has definitely influenced me tremendously. Rest his soul. Before I went to Berkeley, we had this conversation and it was crazy because it was like right the day that he passed. It was like one of those moments where he was just like, I really want you to like, hold yourself accountable, like finish this, like as in my music, because my aunt's a singer. My uncle's he's a rapper, but he sings too, but he writes. So it's just like, my family's very musically inclined. My mom is not at all. She does not have that trait. But he told me, he was like, your aunt didn't do it. Your uncle didn't do it. I didn't do as much as I wanted to, but you need to do it. And then that was our last deep conversation. He's not that very emotional either. He's very yeah. Very just
Caribbean.
Yeah, very Caribbean, very old school. Doesn't really hug. He's like, so I'm just like, hey. And it's just he was just like, but you need to finish. So that always stays in my heart, always stays with me, because the first time I wrote Fire, he's the one who took me and was like, come, I want you to meet this producer I know from back in the day. And he was just not, what you say, bragging about me, but he was just like, yeah, this is my granddaughter. She's a singer. And I'm telling you, this is a very quiet man. And to see him just tell people, yeah, Mia's a singer. Yeah, Mia has this new song. And I was just it made me feel so but I love my grandparents. My grandfather has always influenced me, and my grandma, they pushed me and put me in everything. But music has been around me my entire life. from like, again, from, I lived with my aunt and my mom growing up. So my aunt was always singing to me and we were always singing together. My grandfather always playing piano and like teaching us and bringing us around like his Caribbean friends, and my grandmother too. And like, she always like introduced us to carnival and like mass. So she makes the costumes. So since I was like 3 years old, I would play mass every year. So every time she would like bring me around like the mass camps, that's where like they make the costumes and everything. And it's like music playing, it's like live music. So I'm just like, so my grandparents are my biggest musical influences.
Wow.
I would say that like, they're so supportive. They've always like anything. My grandma would give me her last dime. She was like, you need to go to a studio session.
Wow.
Here's $200. Like she's like, you need a vocal coach. Here you go. So that's like, I always say that I'm doing it for them. And of course I'm doing it for my family, but like they always saw it in me before I think I even saw it in myself. But
that's crazy, because you know what's funny, like you don't hear that often, that people's families are like, especially with music or anything creative, really trying to push someone to do their best. Because you know the typical thing would be like, oh, why don't you be a nurse? Oh, why don't you be a doctor? Oh, why don't you be a lawyer? Just like those types of, and there's nothing wrong with those jobs, because obviously certain people have passions for them and you obviously need them. But when you're really passionate on a creative level, oftentimes parents or families or even grandparents, they try to deter you from doing that. But it's so refreshing to hear that someone's family actually believes and loves that their member of their family, grandchild, child, really wants to do it and pushing them to do it. That's awesome. I like that answer.
Thank you.
I really like that. That's different. That's different for sure. So you also had dropped a small, tiny project a year ago called Things I Never Said. And you had 3 tracks on there. So what are we expecting from you this year or in the next upcoming months in terms of projects? Because we only got 1 single. So I think we need to hear a lot more. And I want to see some more Mia Taylor all over my timeline.
Yes. Right now I'm in the process of just like working on like just music in general, just building my vault and my content, everything. I am working on a project sometime. We might get it summery.
Okay.
But
I had a feeling.
It's definitely in the process. Probably a new single, but right now we're just like going through the creative process and just trying to pick out what songs we really want before we like put it out.
So what's the vibes for the sound? Like the vibes for the sound, what can we expect in terms of genre? Because I feel like you're going to give us some good stuff, some unexpected stuff, some versatility.
Yes. So definitely it's going to be a little along the lines of Mango, but maybe a little bit more, I wouldn't say weird. I would say like different. Cool producers that I'm working with and just trying to like develop cool sounds. It's going to be very, I wouldn't say, a little bit of Afrobeat, a little bit of SOCA, R&B. So
it's going to have some good aesthetics visually.
It's going to be a vibe. It's going to be,
I believe that.
Hopefully your friend could twerk too.
Hey. They're all going to start twerking.
Hopefully we hear it at the party and your friend's lit. So
I love it. I love it. Well, Mia, this is my favorite part of the show. It's called 5 Fast Facts. I always get everybody with this one. You've got to drop 5 gems about yourself that your fans and your supporters don't already know. In this case, you're going to have to give us some real good, juicy stuff, because I feel like you gave us a couple of gems already, but I need some more.
Okay.
You can start now.
Okay. I'm a Taurus.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with Starbucks.
Okay.
I didn't really love dogs as much, but now I have a dog. But I love my dog. My middle name is Taylor.
Oh, wow. Okay. We're almost there. One more.
And my favorite color is orange and green. How can
no way? Because guess what? My favorite color is green. Green girl. Exactly. Well, Mia, thank you so much for dropping by today, taking some time out of your busy schedule, because I don't want to disrupt any more Mango sounding vibes. But I appreciate you for joining us on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Absolutely. And anytime and when you are dropping your project, you are more than welcome to come back and share it with us, and we can go through that together. Maybe we get some more tea about it.
Yeah. Hopefully we're not letting any other men go.
No, yeah, no more of that. No more of that. Well, Mia, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Julia Vamps. This is Mia Taylor. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening.
Thank you.